Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to the BISP Solutions. My name is Anjali, and today we will continue with the profitability and cost management in the EPM cloud services. So let's get started. So in the initial session, we have covered the overview of profitability and cost management, and we have seen what different kinds of dimensions we have, what should be the requirement for this profitability and cost management cloud services. So we have seen different reasons, like why is the need for this tool. So you can check that video. Now in today's session I am going to continue with the administration and security topic. So let me just open my PPT. So we'll be going to start with the basic introduction, like what we going to cover here in the particular topic. So under the overview of administration and security, first topic is about managing access and data security. So whenever we start working on any application, there are some data security. Various options are there for the security purpose. If we talk about the PBCS or other applications, there are some cell level securities, valid intersection as well. Here we will understand how we can manage access and data security and what kind of roles defined. So we'll see one by one each role: administrative task and predefined roles, then controlling application access, granting access to data, customizing home page appearance, setting maintenance time, and viewing performance activity reports. So here are 4 predefined cloud EPM roles. You can clearly see this. First one is the service administrator, second one is power user, third one is user, and the fourth one is viewer. And there are proper hierarchy, like access granted through lower level rules is inherited by higher level rules. So first one is service administrator, who can assign role to the power user, and viewer as well. But if we talk about the second level, that is a power user can assign assign rights to the user as well as viewer. But if we talk about user, so he can only assign rights to the viewer. So in this way, this is a proper hierarchy. It is inherited by higher level rules. Now let's discuss about managing access and data security. But before that, I would like to show you the service administrator role, power user role, user and viewer role. So what a service administrator can do in the application. So service administrator is the higher level authority member, like who can create and delete application, who can update metadata. Service administrator can define and execute allocation rules. Then he can run data management rules. He can create and run analytical dashboards and reports. Also, service administrator can create, update, replace, stop and restart system database, create data grants to restrict access, assign data grants to native groups. So these are the roles of our service administrator, like how he can start working there in the application. Then second one we have in the hierarchy system, that is power user. After service administrator, the second level is power user. So the power user who can create and running rules, who can validating results, who can posting results. Like once the application gets created, the metadata updated, then when the allocation rules are defined and executed, it is already run. Then after that, creating and running rules are the part of power user as well. He can even validate the results and post the results. Then if we talk about the third member, that is user, third role, so this is each user who needs to access an environment must have an account in the identity domain associated with the environment. So the predefined roles assigned to the user determine what the user can do within an environment. Analysis and reports. Normally, if you have worked on other products as well, other applications, so you might understand, I mean, you might have seen this, what a user can basically do. So user cannot assign various rights, but he can define the security for the viewer. So user can design and publish analysis reports. Okay, then after this, what a viewer can do. So viewer can basically track and manage results and performance, because it is the last member in the hierarchy. First one is service administrator, then the second one is power user, third one is user, and the last one is viewer. So the user can assign rights to the viewer, so the viewer can basically track and manage results and performance. So who can be the viewer? Viewer could be the executives, some line of business managers, as well as cost center managers. So these are the roles. Service administrator inherit the privileges of power user, user and viewer. If we talk about power user, so he can only inherit the privilege of user and viewer. If we talk about user, so user inherit the privileges of viewer, and the last one is user can only be assigned one role, that is viewer. Okay, so this is about how the roles can be assigned by the different hierarchy members. This is the inherit kind of so this is a kind of access granted through lower level role is inherited by higher level roles. Now let me open the application also, so that I can show you how you can create the user and how you can give the roles, and how we can view the application as the different user. So this is the application of profitability and cost management. In the first session, I have shown you like what is application, what is under the application, models and everything. Now for administration and security, go to the navigator, and here you can just go to the tools. Under that we have the option of access control. So when you click on access control, there is a manage user option. So here you can simply create the user. I have already created one user of my name. Just click on add it, so I can show you what kind of roles I have assigned. So this is the username, password I have assigned, then confirm password. You can even write your first name or last name, and as well as the email address of the user. Okay, then after that, here I have assigned all the roles for the sake of testing. So there is only 4 roles which we have already discussed from the PPT. That is user, this is predefined, viewer predefined, service administrator predefined, and power user. Now you can create some more groups, and you can assign under the various rights. Like from here you can just go to the manage groups. Right now there are predefined only 4 groups, so you can just create your own according to your requirement. If apart from these predefined roles, if you want to create some more, then you can definitely create it, and then after that when you go to the manage users, you can simply assign the groups. Now one more thing, if there are multiple users who are going to work in the application, so you can simply export it to the CSV file and then import it back in the application. So you can have a list of users with the first name, last name, email address, user login. So in this way you can just prepare the users. Then apart from that, the third option we have, that is the manage application roles. So here when you click on your user, again there are some available application roles. So the predefined assigned application roles I'm having, that is access control, who can manage things, then access control view, data integration administrator, and migrations administrator. So we are going to understand each of this. Then after that, there is a role assignment report. You can download it as well, export it to CSV file. Right now you can clearly see I've created one user, so it is power user, service administrator, user, and viewer. If I assign only one right to Anjali, so she can be a power user or service administrator or user or viewer. So everything is depending upon the rights we are providing to Anjali. So access control, now for now, because I have defined every role to this particular user, so she can access, control, manage, she can view the data, she can even load the data with the help of data integration or other options. Then migrations administrator, so everything she can do for now. And it is a predefined user administrator, so when we create the application, it is automatically created. So a service administrator can access, control, manage, access control, data integration administrator. Now let me tell you something more about this administration and security. So basically the environment is protected by multiple layers of security. So Oracle implements and manages infrastructure security components to create highly secure EPM cloud and EDM cloud environments. So access is restricted to authorized users through various mechanisms, which is basically including single sign-on SSO. Let me write the things simultaneously so it will be easy to grasp. Yes, so we are discussing the administrator under the PCMCS. The topic is administrator and security. So right now we have discussed various roles, that is service administrator, sorry, then we have the different role, that is power user, then we have user, and then we have the viewer. And if we talk about the hierarchy, so service administrator can assign power user, and viewer. Power user can assign user and viewer, and user can assign to viewer only. In this way, this is a proper hierarchy. So access will be granted through lower level roles. Basically it is inherited by the higher level roles. Okay, now after this, if we talk about the single sign-on, so it is role based access to environments. So both SSO, I mean the single sign-on, and role-based security are governed by Oracle Identity Management, so which establishes a security domain for each environment. After a successful sign-in, we can access to the service as determined by the role assigned to the users. So here are some more different terminologies like identity domain. So what is this identity domain? So here in classic environments, the identity domain represents a slice of the shared identity management infrastructure where the identity domain administrators can create and manage users and security settings, can do the security settings. So basically the identity domain administrator can use my service application, this is a classic option, to manage user access. to these environment, by default each customer is allocated two environments, one for testing. So let's write here each customer, this is by default, each customer is allocated two environments, one for testing and the other one for production. So multiple services can be activated under a single identity domain. Okay, then if we talk about the cloud account name, so the cloud account name is the, let's write it simultaneously because this is a part of administrator and security, that's why we are discussing this. So the cloud account name, basically the cloud account name is the Oracle account that manages your subscription. So in OCI generation 2, basically identity domain administrator can use Oracle Cloud Console, that this is called as IAM, and application environment management to set up and manage users and security. So basically the service administrator can set up and manage users and their security. So the account administrator can grant the identity domain administrator role to one or more users to delegate the security setup responsibilities. So by default each customer is allocated two environment, one for testing and the other one for production. So multiple services may be activated under one cloud account. Okay, then if we talk about the user, so let's write here multiple services may be activated under one cloud account. So each user who needs to access an environment must have an account in the identity domain which is associated with the environment. Okay, then the predefined role assigned to the user determine what the user can do within an environment. Like here if you see in the application, this is the one user. Now suppose I just want to create one more user who can only view the report. So I'll just click here and just create one user. Suppose it is a test user. We'll enter the password. And when I click on the available role, so I can only give the right of user or viewer. If I just want to make this user as a viewer who can only view the reports or the data and who cannot even edit anything, so I will assign the role as viewer and then click on save. But if I just want the user to enter some data in the application with the help of data forms or maybe smart view or the traditional options, like here one thing is different, like in the other applications we can use multiple methods, but here you can go with the data management, or you can use the data integration options, or if you want to load the data with the help of flat files, so there is a different way. So I'm going to show you in the next sessions, but for now we are discussing about the users only. So I have provided this user only test, okay, only one option, that is viewer. So now when I just log in with this user, we'll check what that particular user can see here. Okay, right now this is a by default login, so you can clearly see the dashboard, intelligence, reports, application models, tools, and academy. So let's see what we have there in the intelligence. So there are some predefined profit curves, which is basically like for all customers, departments, stores, and specialty retailers. Okay, but if I want to create the new one, so just click on this plus option. So from here you can simply create your profit curve. Let me show you what kind of profit curves are available. So this is a predefined, basically with the help of this you can have an idea like what kind of profit curves we can create here. So this is the POV right now, the period is June, and this is a cumulative profit curve. You can clearly see basically related to all the customers. So total count is this, profitable percentage is 100% for now, unprofitable percentage is this, potential profit and actual profits. So proper details you can mention here. You can even show the category analysis in this way. Like suppose I'm going to check it through the delivery zone category, or I want to see it through the region. So region wise details I can clearly see: Northwest, Southeast, Canada, California, and so on. Then this is for all customers. I can even look at for as per the top 10%, top 20% in this way. Also here are some analysis links as well. So this is the profit curve. Apart from region, you can see it as a sales report and store settings, generation 3, 4 generation, and you can create your own as well. You can even change the POV by adding a filter from here. So this is about the all customers. When I click on department stores, so here again I can just make my focus for all the customers, or I can just choose the top 10, top 20%, bottom 10, bottom 20, bottom 30%. So I hope it is clear how the profit curves will be used and how we can create our new profit curves. Similarly, there are some more options for the sake of analysis: scatter analysis, analysis views, trace allocations, queries, and key performance indicators. Now suppose if I want to log in with the new user which we have just created, so I'll be logging with a different browser. So let's just wait for a few seconds so that I can log in here. Give me a second guys so that I can log in it with a new password. So we'll be logging with the new user which we have just created. This is again the by default login, the administrator login, and I am just going to sign out first and sign in back. test See, this is the by default admin login, dashboard, intelligence report, application models, tools, academy, everything is here. But here you can see only dashboard, intelligence reports, application models, and academy. Okay, and that too, there are no tools defined because this is a simply viewer. And when you click on intelligence, so there is the analysis views, then scatter analysis, so the viewer can view like what kind of profit curves are there. But see, there is an error, as base error, the user cannot perform cube view operation. You do not have sufficient access to read from this database, because this particular thing can be viewed by the service administrator, power user, or user, not a viewer. Viewer can only see what the user want to show. Okay, maybe the viewer can only see one report at a time or one profit curve, so that that is depending upon the user what kind of rights they want to assign to the viewer. And if the viewer want to see all the customer profit curves, then also you can clearly see there is a S base errors. He even cannot add a filter, and clearly you can see all the details are 0. So this is the difference between the different roles. Now let's discuss some other things regarding the managing access and data security. So profitability and cost management has two levels of security that control access to the service, its data and its functionality. So the first level of security, basically it is a service level. So identity domain administrator can create and manage accounts for environment users within an identity domain. So basically to do this, they use the my service applications, and then they assign predefined roles to these users to control the business activities that they can perform and the general areas of data that they can access. For more basically for more information you can read about the service level security, but this is just for the sake of common understanding about the different terminologies. Then we have the second level of security, that is application level. So first one is security service level, second one is application level. So it determines the data that users with various roles can view or work with. So the second level of security is defined with access groups and data grants, like to whom they want to assign the rights for data load, to see the data, prepare the reports, prepare the allocation rules. Basically it is depending upon that. So there are predefined access groups such as users and viewers, and native groups created by service administrator. So this key will be held by the service administrator, like who will be that user who can create the allocation rules or assign to various options. Let me show you the different dimensions we have here in the application. Let's see this directly in the application. So click here, go to the dimension management. So if you remember in the first session I told you normally we have account, customer, driver, period, entity, scenario, everything we already know, but the different dimensions we have here, that is the balance dimension as well as the rule dimension. Okay, so we'll see the difference of these two and what is the use of it. So first I'm going to show you the normal definition of this balance dimensions. The PCM balance dimension keeps track of adjustments, custom calculations and allocation rules while preserving the original input data. Basically what is happening here, when we enter the data, it is coming under the input column, but whenever we make some adjustments Like suppose the salary will be adjusted with the 10% in the next quarter or next period maybe, or maybe some expenses I have allocated to different departments, so that will not change my original data, that will be covered under the input column. So this is the beauty of this dimension basically. So the PCM balance dimension has three main functions. It separates the input values from calculated values, then it maintains a net balance when many rules acts on a single location to allocate funds, or funds in or out, or maybe to adjust values up and down, to create a reminder amount to track how much unallocated amount remain available for future rules to allocate. So basically balance dimension is nothing but the balance dimension can maintain a track of adjustments, because in this particular tool we are going to prepare different rules. Some are the custom calculations, some are the normal allocations. So we'll see what kind of rules we can prepare and what are the predefined rules in the application after this. But for now, for the sake of understanding the definition, this is the balance dimension, and I'm going to show you how it will look. So when you click here on the balance dimension, you will find that first option we have, that is net balance, and when you click on the net balance you will have an input column. So this is for the original data, for maintaining the originality of the data. And to see the changes, there is a separate column, that is net change, and under that you have the adjustment in, adjustment out, allocation in, allocation out, and the last one is reminder. So when you see this, the same thing in the smart view. So from here you can select any account where you want to load the data, or where you want to make some adjustment. Suppose I'm just going to load data in the operating expenses, maybe in this account. And when I click on balance dimension, so I need to choose everything, not only a single thing, because I need to show you the difference of each member. And simply I can take any customer, or maybe no customer. This is the predefined customers we have in the application, that is the department stores, specialties, retailers, and web store. We can create our own customer group as well. Then we have a driver. For now I'm just selecting the no driver option. Entity, any random entity I can select here. Suppose I'm selecting here the corporate entity. The first one is corporate entity, then a random period, maybe January. Basically I'm selecting the point of view for which I want to see the data. Maybe I want to select the no product only. Then rule. Yes, so rule is that dimension which will show you the number of the rule. Like right now there are so many rules already there in the application, and when you create your rule, maybe it is a custom rule or another rule, so you can just define your number, rule number, so that accordingly you can see the calculation. Okay, like suppose for now I'm selecting no rule. When I create the rule, I'll show you the difference of this rule dimension as well. Then a random scenario I'm going to select, that is actual. Then any random year, that is 2016, or might be no activity. After this, just click on refresh. for now you can see this is the input. So if I just input anything over here, submit data, and later on after when I run the rule, so this input will not change. This I'll show you with one of the file which I have created earlier. The basic example I'm going to tell you. Okay, see, yeah, this is one example of the utility. There is 3000 has been allocated. This 3000 is coming under the input column. When I run one rule, that is R0024, so this 300 is available visible under the adjustment in column, not in the adjustment out, because I just want to make one adjustment with the 300, and later on this 3000 plus 300, that is 3300, I want to allocate in the different departments. These departments are different. This is a corporate entity and these are the different entities: finance, marketing, and general. So I just want to allocate in the even distribution way. So here you can clearly see that my input has not changed. This is 3000 later on as well. Only this column, the allocation in, will be changed from 3300, and all the allocations are defined here in the entities where I want to see. Let me just change the color of that so it will be easy to understand. This is the main entity. So this 3000 first will be first adjusted with 300, and then this 3300 will be allocated evenly in the different entities. So this is possible with the help of these rules. So when we understand about how we can create the rule, then I'll show you. But these numbers, from where you can find these numbers, again go back to the application, and here we have the rules option under the administer. Just click there. So this is again the predefined rule sets, although I have created, but the application gets deleted. So let's see the predefined for now. So this is the occupancy expense allocations, and when I click on the utilities expense adjustment, you can see the rule number. So in this way, sometimes it is automatically created, or sometimes you can even change the sequence from here. And when you just do the testing, smoke testing with the help of a smart view, so you can just choose your rule. So when you click on the smart view, there is an option to select the member and just select your rule where you want to see the calculations. So this is the way, I mean, this is the definition of balance dimension and rule dimension, like why we are discussing these dimensions. Although the other dimensions you already know, I think, because customer, driver, period, scenario, year, product, this is a common dimension which we already know. But the different dimensions here, that is the balance and the rule dimension. Okay, some more definitions I have written here, and this is the proper hierarchy of this: the member name, the parent member, the default data storage, hierarchy, data type, and alias table. So everything is already here. You can just create your data metadata file on the basis of this. And this is the definition. Balance dimension keeps track of adjustment, custom allocations, and allocation rules while preserving the original input data. So that we have already seen how he can preserve the original input data. And the PCM balance dimension has three main functions. that we have already discussed. It separates the input values from the calculated one. Then it maintains the net balance when many rules act on a single location to allocate funds in or out, or maybe to adjust values up and down. So yes, for that. And then creates a reminder amount to track how much unallocated amount remain available for future rules to allocate. Then if we talk about the rule dimension, so although we have seen it already we have seen this practical, but the PCM rule dimension contains all your allocation and custom calculation rules. When you run calculations, the result of each rule are tracked separately. So this helps you to individually track the impact of each allocation and custom calculations, and it allows you to undo any rules that were run. And this is the metadata file for the rule dimension. These are the names of the rules which are showing here. First one is PCM no rule, when you want to just apply this no rule option. So this is one member, and apart from that there are some predefined rules. So utilities, rent, product material allocation, activity costing, assignments, and so on. So if you create your own rule, it will be available up here over here. So I hope now you can easily understand about the security, administrator and security, as well as the dimensions. And for more clarity, I think you need to do the practical here. You need to define your own allocation rules as well if you want to create some more custom dimensions. So you can create. In the next session, I think I can show you how you can create the rule on the basis of different Excel stories. I have created a scenario, so accordingly I'll show you how you can create the custom rules as well as the allocation rules. So for creating the rules, go to the administrator, and then once you create the rule, you need to come here in the manage option and just click on calculation. So when you just create your rule, then from here you can clear the calculated data or execute calculation, and you can just select your rule if you want to run a set of rules or you want to run a single rule. So from here you can just click, select your rule set and select your rule name, and then click on run now. And once it is done, we need to check this under the job option. This is again available under the application, this job library, and then you can just see the status here. So maybe it is success, right now it is running, and status success. Sometimes it is coming it as a success with warnings, and you can clearly see what kind of warnings you have, and you can just correct it according to that. And all the POV will be available here, the model POV name. So if for this rule you can clearly see this is 2016, period is June, scenario is actual, and this is a single rule we have ran this. So I hope it is clear and it is enough for the day. The rest we'll see in the next session. So thank you for attending, and if you have still any doubts or queries, you can feel free to write us over www.bispsolutions.com. Thank you.